Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how to make carnitas. They are perfect for when you want a taco night, something different. They're not super quick, but they are definitely worth the effort and the time that you take to make them. So stay tuned and I will show you how it's done. We are going to be using pork shoulder or pork butt. You might also be able to find carnitas. It's the same thing. It's basically all cut up for you, but this is what I have today. You're also going to want a heavy duty cast iron pot, Dutch oven type thing, something heavy duty that you can fry in. I'm also going to be using bay leaves, garlic, and an orange, and some salt. Next, we're going to cut up the meat into like 1 to 2 inch pieces, and I put the fat in the pot first to kind of let the oil and the fat render out. Then I add the other meat on top of it and I don't touch it for about a half an hour. After a half an hour, then you'll start turning it around and you can see that we're already getting that nice crispiness on there and the fat has rendered out a little bit. Next, I'm going to be adding the salt, and I want to make sure to get this evenly all over every piece, and I'll kind of work it in a little bit with a spatula. But again, I want to be careful not to move the bottom layer too much because I want to make sure it gets a nice crisp on there. Next, I'm tossing in the bay leaves and I'm going to add enough lard to cover the meat. Then we're just going to leave it alone to cook and start working on our pico de gallo. I'm putting garlic. It's about 1 large clove, and I'm using 3 Roma tomatoes as well as probably about 1/4 of red onion, and I'm just putting that all into my measuring cup. I'm going to be putting 1 de-seeded jalapeno in there, and I will be chopping that up really small and just setting it aside. So it's been about a half an hour since we last checked our meat, and I'm going to be turning it. You can see the color changing and you can see that the liquid is mostly covering the meat. Also, sorry I didn't mention it before, the temperature that I have this at is like a medium. It's more kind of like a low. This is going to be not a fast process. It's probably going to take about 3 hours. So every hour now, I'll let this set for an hour and I'll come back and turn it again. So while that continues cooking, I'm going to start working on a guacamole to go with our taquitos. The first thing that you're going to need is some really ripe avocados, and I just split them down the middle, remove the core, and squeeze them into a little bowl like this. Squeezing the avocado out like this makes it really fast and efficient, and you don't have to worry about dicing it up and scooping it out with a spoon. So next I'm going to be smashing it with a fork and just mixing it until it becomes a really creamy consistency. Next I'm going to salt both my avocado and the pico de gallo, and I'm going to add some lime juice to both of them as well. If you roll the lime like this, for me it makes the juice come out easier. So I'm just gonna start squeezing as much juice out as I can, and I will be adding half of the juice to the avocado and half of the other juice to the pico de gallo. Next, I add a couple of scoops of the pico de gallo right into the avocado and I mix it around, and there you have some easy guacamole. Next, I'm going to be taking off some of the peel off of the orange to add to the carnitas, and I will be cutting this in half so that I can juice it as well. And we're also going to be adding this to the carnitas. Plus, I'm going to be adding about 4 cloves of garlic. So our carnitas have been cooking for about 2 hours now at this point, and I'm going to go ahead and start adding in our aromatics, which is the garlic and the orange peels, and sometimes I add clove. I forgot to do it this time, but I will add like maybe 4 or 5 little things of clove if you like that. I'm also going to be adding the juice that we squeezed from the oranges to the carnitas as well. And I'm going to let this cook for about another hour, and then I will pull out a piece of meat and check it. So here I'm checking the piece of meat and you see that it's just falling apart. The fat is nice and squishy. This is perfect, and it looks amazing. Yep, it tastes amazing too. So this is done. Test another piece here. Yep, pretty good. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start heating up the tortillas. I'm also gonna just fry these up on the comal a little bit just so that they can get a little bit more browner in some of the spots. And if you finished your guacamole before you got to make your taquitos, then you can just take a piece of avocado and smash it up onto your tortilla and top it with your carnitas. Just like that. I like to pull apart these little pieces just to make sure that you can get nice bite-sized pieces, and also double up the tortilla. It will fall apart if you don't. So once you have all of your carnitas in place, then you're gonna want to top it with your pico de gallo. So the last thing that you have to do is test them out. So, alright guys, these taste amazing. The meat is very tender and moist, and the fat is very soft. It feels like it just melts on your tongue. Paired with the avocado and the pico de gallo, it's just spot on. I really hope that you guys give this recipe a try. I appreciate you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already.